Hi, Jake. Going to the documentary.
Class 2025 are just like, again, they're always participating, they're always there, they're always on. You always feel like the class is just filled up with personality when they're there.
They're incredibly passionate.
Yeah.
They love what they do. They're not ashamed to do the things that they find joy in. They want to share these things with the rest of their classmates and their community and the school. The class of 2025 is one of a kind. They're exceptional.
Absolutely.
Class of 2025 is truly one of the most special groups that I've had the pleasure of working with. I would characterize the group as very kind, compassionate, and having a really close bond with each other.
Well, I would say memorable. I'll remember this class. Passionate and involved. This group of kids has been involved in their passions to a level I haven't seen before. It really is impressive.
For me, the class of 2025 is incredibly artistic and creative and very kind. That's one thing that's stood out since I've been in the district, so 12 years, so almost their whole education.
Passionate. I feel like a lot of the class members have something they are passionate about. This group has a lot of intelligence. They're pretty smart, whether it's run-of-the-mill book smart, street smart, common sense smart. They each have their own little intelligence there. And I think the last one I would say is talented, which goes along with passion, but not always. But each one of you has something that you are strong in, and I hope that you continue to build upon.
The class of 2025 has always been unapologetically themselves. There are a lot of unique characters, and I just feel like they really kind of like stand in what they like and what they're into, and a lot of those students don't care what anybody else thinks about it.
This senior class, I think, they're a tight group, they're a collaborative group, energetic, and those that I've interacted have been very creative and excited to get things done.
Quirky, adventurous, and optimistic.
This particular group is positive, connected, and committed and dedicated.
So I would say that the class of 2025 is very selfless. They're always concerned about helping others. They're concerned about kindness and the greater good.
First word, I think, is closeness. I think it's a really, really close class. I really love how they look out for each other. I've heard so many positive stories on the prom, the senior trip. I'm just very impressed in general with the class. Next is loyalty. It seems to be a really loyal class. They're loyal to each other. They're loyal to the staff. They're loyal to their school community. Really love all the extra things that our seniors do for us.
You guys had a togetherness, and you always looked out for each other in this class. I think that there's going to be a lot of great adults that come out of this group that want to lead people that's going to come behind them. So I would say togetherness would be a great way to describe this class.
I would say quirky, fun, and energetic. I think the class, it's interesting because there's so many different personalities and so many different like friend groups and dynamics, yet at the same time, I feel like they all sort of blend together perfectly. And I never feel like there's any like one student that sort of shuns other ones. It just seems like a very close, tight-knit group, and I think it's unique.
There's a lot of ways I could go with that, but I'll just say lots of fun. Why? That's just a loose group of students, very close-knit bonds. I've been able to have conversations with those students that are almost friendlier in nature. They have things in common with me, whether it's candy or video games or whatever, but I've just always had a lot of fun having them in my class. I've had really good classes before, but when I think of this one, there's two things I think of. I think the other one will probably come up, but in this sense, a lot of fun.
I would say the class of 2025 is a really ambitious group. So many of them are wrapped up in multiple sports, the musical, doing things outside of school, such as community service, just a lot of amazing things. But ambitious was the first word that came to my mind.
Walking backward through a parade, and I'm stuck in the shadows, blocking the shade.
Favorite moment was probably like the entire sectional run of last year for lacrosse. Like it was fun to be actually getting there, even though we lost in the finals. It was an experience to go through it all.
Favorite moment from my soccer season? I don't know if there is one distinct moment as opposed to just being able to have that camaraderie with my fellow seniors. It was really special.
Oh man, I had to have been our playoff game at Corinth. I mean, just the energy in that gym was just crazy. You know, getting the dunk on the news. It was just a great time, and really loved it.
Winning leagues in track this year in indoor, it was definitely a huge accomplishment and definitely a solid memory.
One of my favorite things was in indoor track. I went to three of the biggest indoor tracks in the continent. It was the Armory, which is Nike's track, New Balance in Boston, and then Ocean Breeze in Staten Island.
I would honestly say this season because we had a lot of first and second place wins, and our coaches were really good this year, so I was excited.
Favorite moment from this year had to be beating Stillwater at Stillwater. That was just such an incredible night. September 26th, I'll never forget the date. We had 3 games that week, and I thought we were going to lose every one. And the one that I thought we would lose by the most, we ended up beating them. And I remember, ever since Modified, I hated Stillwater, and they always crushed us. I remember we lost like 8-3 or something, which is nothing new. But it was so nice. Me, Sam Kukin in front. We got Jack Roseberger on the bench cheering us on because he broke his toe or whatever. It was such a good sight. And Gardner putting that goal in to get us ahead. Man, I will never, ever forget that game. Just cherry on top of a great season.
Has to be probably Big Red Day, my senior year. I really, just the starting music, and getting to see all the people come out and support us and watch us was really exciting.
I would say like big winning games when you're not expected to win, but you come through and win. I would say we have a lot of competition with Hoosick Falls every year, and I say all those games are pretty good. It came down to like the 9th innings, when extra innings, that was fun. Just like big timely hits that we all get excited for, big catches that like make a difference. I would say those are my favorite moments.
My favorite moment's got to be making it to the sectional championship for lacrosse my junior year. That was pretty awesome.
I would say out of all 5 of my seasons, we've won 3 league championship games.
I'd say it would be bonding with my friends and meeting new people through the music department and just getting closer with people, specifically in Corliers and the musicals in general. I think I spent a lot of time with Scarlett and Emily, and then I also got closer to Caroline through Corliers, which was just really fun being with all those people all the time.
I just love singing with Emily and Betsy, just performing with them. It's just a lot of fun.
You know, in all honesty, I'd say victory lap. I think that we spent a lot of junior year just crushing out any hard class that we can think of. I think that we were probably on some sort of list for all the college classes we took last year. So getting to have a year where your only goal really is to make memories, it just felt like that's exactly what we did. We just made a ton of memories. So I'd say that.
Exciting because I've had so many like accomplishments this year. Sad because like it's coming to an end. Like it hasn't hit me yet, but it's like starting to. So I'm kind of like sad about that. And then grateful because I got to meet a lot of people throughout my high school year and all my other years.
Fun, chaotic, and eventful. Just because I tried to make the most out of it. I knew I was only going to have a high school career once, so I really tried to have as much fun as possible. And senior year is when I did a lot of that.
Fast but fun. Because senior year is the most fun you will have in high school, unless you had a really good junior year or something. But when making it so fun, it goes by so fast because you know, as Ferris Bueller once said, take a look around once in a while. You might just miss life.
Fun, a little harsh, and chaotic.
Bittersweet, surreal, and maybe I'd say fun. I'd say bittersweet because there's all these moments that you're having and stuff that you're doing, but you know, like, it's your last time doing it with the people around you. We've all grown up with each other. It's like surreal. We're all going our separate ways, and as have a lot of the other kids at our school. I just think it's definitely surreal leaving.
The piece of advice I generally give is the secret of life is finding something that you're passionate about. Find someone who will pay you to do it. And that's how you wake up every morning happy to come to work.
Remember not to step on anyone getting where you need to go because you see them on the way back down. Always be kind.
I think it's really important. I think one of the strongest messages I ever heard was Jimmy Valvano's speech, his ESPY speech. He didn't have very much longer to live. He was a great basketball coach. And I think his message was this. His message was every day that you're living, or every day that you go forward, you should look to laugh. I think humor is important. You should look to think. I think thinking is important. And every day, your emotions should be strong enough to bring you to tears. If you live every day of your life like that, what a great day and what a full life you live.
Yeah, just go work hard, stay in touch. I guess that would be a big one. I would be happy to hear whether it be a Facebook message or email. I would be happy to hear from anybody in this class of 2025 in the future.
And I mean, just stay who you are. Keep thinking outside of yourselves and helping other people. And I believe in that you're going to actually help yourself and enrich your own life by doing those things.
Last words of advice I would say is to continue to support each other, stay in touch. It gets harder as you get older. You have more responsibilities, life gets busy. The bond that you have now is truly a special bond with this group. I can see how much you care about each other. Continue to make each other a priority. And, you know, I think you put effort into those relationships with each other. I think that will, you know, bring you a long ways in terms of staying in touch and really continuing to support each other, because you support each other throughout school here at Tamarac. And I think that's something that as you have new friendships and new circles, it's going to be more of a challenge. But I do believe that if you keep doing that, make it a priority, you guys are going to really continue to just spread your wings and support each other.
Don't let things stand in your way. Just because there's a stick in the path doesn't mean you've got to stop. Find your way through it, and creativity is going to take you far. So lean on that and trust your instincts and persevere.
Okay, so I said this on the morning announcements while the class of 2025 was in charge of it, but there's a quote, I have no idea who it comes from, and it is that the richest man in the world cannot buy back time. So try and take advantage of every opportunity, every moment, anything that you want to do, try and do it to the best of your ability.
I would say a piece of advice I would give is to keep challenging themselves and not to stop trying, not to stop reaching, because everyone in that class can achieve great, great things.
I have to go back to my tried and true that I tell all my students, that you gotta, you know, watch those ghost lines. So you draw a light to get it right, or they'll come back and haunt you. And that's not just with drawing, that's with all life lessons there, bud. So think about all your decisions, think about them carefully before you make that mark.
Don't let anybody else dictate the direction that your life should go. And I think if you sort of believe in yourself and you just kind of stay with your passions, which is so important. I follow my passions. I have people ask me all the time, hey, why do you teach? You're not going to make any money. Blah, blah, blah. I love it. It's a passion of mine. Basketball's a passion of mine. So if you can find your passion and get paid for it, to me, that's not work.
Work with awesome people. Okay? Whatever you can. And, you know, Wade, what would you say?
Well, I mean, along with that, because obviously being able to work with your best friends are the best things in the world. But to always keep in mind that life obviously is hard, but you don't have to make it harder. And to try and find the joy in the pockets where they are.
Yeah, I would also say, like, you know, I guess I would tell them to follow their passion.
Definitely.
You know, what brings you joy? And try to find a path using that.
Yeah, keep it going.
And now the end is near. So I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear.
Happy Senior
I'll
Year.
state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my Yes, it was